Okay, so the first thing I'm going to cover is simply how to squat correctly. The only reason I say that is a whole lot of people can't squat correctly, and that might either make bodyweight squats much easier than they have to be. Often that's the case. Sometimes it makes it harder than they have to be, which is something you see a lot with people who don't really know how to go forwards, only backwards. I'll explain what that means. So, despite what various personal trainers and injury reduction specialists might tell you, the knees are totally okay to go forward past your knees, alright? The body is resilient, and you're not fragile enough that if your knees drift past your toes, they'll explode into 1,000 pieces. We have ligaments and tendons to protect against that. So, what I've gotten from Pat Davidson, and something I really like, is I'm actually going to cue reaching my knees ahead of me so that I can get really nice forward travel of the knee and really good knee flexion, which is going to get quad involvement. So, 2 cues I like to think. I'm going to try and crush my heels into the floor, but I'm not going to let my toes come up. So imagine keeping this really solid contact with forefoot and rear foot. I'm going to try and shove my heel all the way to Hawaii on the other side of the earth. Once I've done that, I can feel my glutes turn on just a little bit. I'm simply going to reach my knees forward in space and sink down. At first, many people feel like they're limited past here because they're just not used to the sensation of then having their body weight shift back and come back forwards. That's alright, just work on it. Squats are something where the more you do it over time, the more comfortable it feels. So, crush my heels into the floor, reach my knees forward, and that's really about it. The only other useful cue might be, I want to try and reach my scalp up to the roof to make sure I stay really tall. So what you don't want to see with a squat is, number one, heels popping up. Now, I'm not arbitrarily against you going onto your toes, but it's simply, well, it's just not a squat. So if we're trying to squat, we want to keep our foot flat. The other thing you don't want to see is someone's whose shins do not move, and they basically just move about their knees and their hips. This is something that looks like that. People started doing this to protect the knees. Ironically, it probably puts a little bit more shear stress on your lumbar spine. Either way, I'm not super concerned about you getting injured with bodyweight squat. It's just not efficient, nor is it effective. Final cue you might want to see, this is probably the best way to show you front on, is where you're going to see knee collapse a lot. So this is going to look like that. So the best way to avoid that is, all I'm going to think about, crush my heels forward, reach my knees forward, I come down to this really nice deep position. If I reach my knees forward, I can't physically let them collapse in. If you do find, however, that you just can't not let your knees drop, that's where we're going to start talking about some of the modifications for bodyweight squats that's in the next video.